Umar ibn Al-Khattab. His name is etched in history as one of the most powerful and influential leaders to have ever lived. He was a pioneer of justice, a military genius, and the architect of an empire that stretched from the sands of Arabia to the ancient lands of Persia and the gates of Europe. He commanded vast armies, governed millions, and held a position of unparalleled authority. But if you think his story is about power, you're missing the most important part. Because what truly defined Umar was not his authority, but his profound and overwhelming fear of God. For Umar, leadership wasn't a privilege or a path to glory. It was a terrifying burden, a sacred trust from the Almighty. He saw himself not as a king on a throne, but as a shepherd responsible for his flock. He believed that on the day of judgment, every ruler would stand alone before God, stripped of their titles and armies, to answer for every single soul under their care. Every injustice, every tear of the oppressed, every hungry stomach, every mistake made, he would be held accountable for it all. This deep-seated fear shaped his every action. It led him to utter words that have echoed through the centuries, a timeless testament to his character. One day, with the weight of his responsibility pressing down on him, Umar said, "If a mule were to stumble on the road in Iraq, I fear that God would ask me, 'Umar, why did you not pave the road for it?'" Just think about that for a moment. Not a person, not a citizen, but a single animal, hundreds of miles away in a distant province. He feared being questioned by God for the suffering of a mule. This was the heart of Umar, a man whose conscience extended to every corner of his vast empire, to every living creature within it. This wasn't a political statement for public applause. It was the genuine cry of a soul burdened by a sense of duty so immense it is hard for us to even comprehend today. His fear of God wasn't just an abstract concept. It was a physical, palpable reality for him. When he would hear verses of the Quran describing the day of judgment, his powerful frame, which made his enemies tremble, would shake uncontrollably. There were times he would fall to the ground, unconscious, overcome by the sheer terror of standing before his Creator. Those who knew him closely spoke of the two dark lines etched onto his cheeks. These weren't scars from battle, but marks left by the constant stream of tears that flowed as he prayed alone in the dead of night, begging God for forgiveness and guidance. The world saw Umar, the mighty ruler, but in the silence of his room, he was just a humble servant, weeping in fear of his Lord. While the people under his rule respected and sometimes even feared his strict justice, Umar himself feared something far greater, the prospect of meeting God with his duties unfulfilled. This fear drove him out of his home late at night. He wouldn't be surrounded by guards or an entourage. Instead, he would walk the dark, silent streets of Medina alone, disguised as a commoner. He wasn't seeking praise or looking for photo opportunities. He was actively searching for problems. He was listening for the cry of an infant, checking if any family was hungry, seeking out anyone who might have been oppressed or forgotten by the system he managed. He carried sacks of flour on his own back to feed a widow and her children, his face covered in soot from lighting their fire. He wasn't a ruler inspecting his kingdom. He was a servant tending to his master's flock. This is the ultimate paradox of Umar's leadership. He was one of the most powerful men on earth, yet he lived with the constant fear of being held accountable. He understood a profound truth that many leaders forget. True strength isn't found in the sharpness of a sword or the size of an army. It's found in accountability. It's found in the humility to know that you will answer for every decision you make. Umar ibn al-Khattab feared God, and because of that one single, all-encompassing fear, millions of people were able to live their lives in justice, security, and dignity. His story teaches us that the most just and compassionate societies are not built by those who crave power, but by those who fear the responsibility that comes with it. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content that explores the powerful lessons from history. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.